Hi, welcome to AllBrands After Hours with me, your host, Courtney Douthat. Welcome to the show where we hang out and craft together. Today we'll be going over the 5 things I wish someone would have told me when I started off with ScanNCut. Let's do it. Now, one of the things I wish someone would have told me at the beginning is that there's going to be a few things that you're going to do that's kind of a rite of passage. To say we're really into our crafting, we're getting things done, and we forget to put our protective cover back on our fabric mat. Remember, our fabric mat is our most sticky mat. And maybe a piece of paper landed right onto our fabric mat. Why is that a bad thing? Because the fabric mat is our most sticky mat, and you usually don't recommend putting paper to it because it's going to get stuck on there and it's going to shred. So I don't recommend the fabric mat for your papers, which is again the tan mat. I actually recommend the blue low tack or really dirty standard mat and a scanning mat. Now, Courtney, why a really dirty standard mat? Because it's not as sticky, so it shouldn't hurt the paper. But this fabric mat is very sticky. Like, I can hold it with my hand and with nothing else. So if something like this piece of paper accidentally landed on here and got stuck on my fabric mat, why is that a bad thing? Because again, now we're gonna have to try to get it off, and it's gonna shred the paper. So if it was something you wanted to keep, well, most likely it's gonna get shredded into pieces, and then it's gonna leave remnants of your paper on your fabric mat, which is a no-no. So what I would recommend doing is very gently trying to get some of the paper off of here, just like the big parts of it. Oh, it is not wanting to come off. Let's see. So we're gonna try to get as much as we can off of there, but don't work hard because we have a little trick that we're going to do to get it off. Oh, okay. It does not want to come off. She is on there, and I did it in green so you can see it. So what I recommend doing is grabbing Totally Awesome. If you've ever watched the show before, you know how much I love this. We're not affiliated with them. I just think it's really good. So it's from the Dollar Tree. What I want you to do is the paper that's stuck on your mat, go ahead, spray it. Full strength with Totally Awesome. And what it's going to do is make it want to come away from that mat. So I'm going to grab my scraper tool. Now I'm going to go around. You see now it's coming off. And this works even if there's like a little piece of paper on your mat, anything like that. Go ahead and do this and get it off your mat. See, it's starting to come off. Still got a few pieces. And I'm not pushing hard at all. All I'm doing is kind of like, roughing it up a bit. But I'm not damaging my mat in any kind of way. And all that paper comes off my mat. Now, that green had a little bit of like a dye in it, like cardstock. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and do that again. I'm going to take just some paper towels, some regular paper towels. Oh yeah, see that Totally Awesome's getting all that green off too. How wild is that? Okay. Go ahead and I'm going to wipe it down. Now, Courtney, does that Totally Awesome hurt the glue? No, actually it's kind of helping because it brings back all of that sticky. So it's bringing my mat back to its original state almost and making it all nice and clean for me. Now, when you do this, what I want you to do is to leave it on a table wherever you can without the protective cover. Look at that. Look at that, brand new. How awesome is that? Looks so good. So what I want you to do is leave it on a table without the protective cover because it's gonna bring back all that sticky. It has to dry without the protective cover. Give it a few moments and then you'll be fine to be able to put that protective cover back on it like we should have done in the beginning, and your mat will be fine for the next project. Now, we've all gone through this at one time or another where we look at our blade and we're like, what is happening? It used to cut so well and now it's not cutting as well, and I'm using the same materials, doing everything. It's an auto blade, so I shouldn't have to change any settings, right? Well, right, but what's happening is your blade's probably getting worn down. Now, if you're going through something super simple like just a plain piece of cotton material like we've done on the show, or if you're going through something very intense like acrylic, or if you're going through wood with our ScanNCuts like we did on the last show, we went through that wood. That's gonna wear my blade down a lot faster than, again, something like a piece of cardstock or a piece of cotton fabric is gonna wear this blade down. So what I usually recommend is if you start noticing that your blade's just not cutting as well as it used to cut, it's probably time to change your blade. And I've gone over a few times how to change that. Now I wanna show you something up close. Because again, last video we cut wood. So I'm gonna unscrew this blade and I want you to see all of the gunk inside that blade. Like, do you see all that remnants of that wood inside of there? How gross is that? So what I would do is I would actually take this blade out and give it a good clean. Just dust it off. Just get all that gunk out of there and clean it off, because it's not going to cut as well with all that gunk in there, understandably. And again, if you've watched the show, you know that I love the little spatula that comes with your ScanNCut, because it has this foamy bit on the back of it. And all you have to do is stab your blade and then take it out. Throw that away, put your new one in. But it's also a great time to clean this thing out. And I personally like to sometimes take a little paintbrush, do it in there. If you have the little bitty brush from the rhinestone kit, that also works great. It's not what it's intended to, but it cleans it so well. Look how much better that now looks. Just because I took the blade out and then wiped it down. Now I can take my new blade and just pop it in there. Like that. Look how much better that looks. Oh, and then close this on up. And now my blade's going to cut so much better, so much cleaner now. So if my blade was okay, then just cleaning it out like that would be just fine. But if it was time to replace my blade, that's how I would do it, and it would be so much easier. And I've always told you guys before, if your holder is fine, just buy the replacement of the blade. The blade that comes with your machine in the holder, again, already there. The knife's in there, the blade's in there. The one that you buy separately, it's the holder and the blade are sold separately. So if your holder's fine, you only have to buy the blade. So to answer that question, Courtney, when do I have to change my blade? Depends on how much you use it, what you're using it on, because again, it wears out differently depending on what you're cutting. But again, you'll kind of start seeing that it's not cutting as well as it used to. And you might be like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. Is it the material? Is it something like that? It might be your blade. So it doesn't hurt to grab an extra blade just to have on hand for one that you use a lot. If you're using the black auto blade a ton, well, just grab an extra one. And a lot of times places have coupons like AllBrands.com. So make sure if you get a good deal, just go ahead, keep it in your drawers for a time that you're ready to use it. Now, if you're using the rotary blade a ton and not really the black auto blade, well, then get an extra rotary blade. You don't have to get an extra one of these. So it's whatever you're using the most and tailor exactly to you. Now, say we're really excited. We have our scanning mat with a design on there that we want to scan in. We go to scan, and we're like, this is gonna be great. But we get an error that the mat cannot be recognized. Now, your first instinct is to think, oh, is there something wrong with my mat? Because my mat cannot be recognized. The corners don't look bent. Everything looks fine. This is the correct mat for this machine. There must be something wrong with my mat. It's not your mat, it's your machine. Now, a lot of times what I recommend is to make sure, again, that the corners aren't bent. But there could be another culprit. It could be the scanner. Courtney, it didn't say anything about the scanner. It said my mat had issues. What are you talking about the scanner? There might be something stuck on your scanner which is blocking it from reading the mat. So what I recommend to do, is we're gonna do it together, is you're going to turn your machine off, close her on up. I want everything locked. Unplug her from the back. I want you to turn her around. And I want you to turn, well, you would be facing it towards you. I'm facing it away so you can see. You're welcome. Now, there is a little bitty thing in the back that helps feed the mat through in and out. You don't have to put it out. I never do. But for this, I want you to put it out. And then I want you to look right here. You see right here where you can press down and kind of pinch it? I want you to pinch and pull. You're going to pull this whole thing out. I know, it feels weird. And now I want you to look in there. Do you see right there, that little black thing? That's a piece of vinyl that got stuck in there from a previous project I was doing or something like that. It's stuck in there. So what I want you to do is very carefully, I want you to take it out. Try your best not to touch the scanner. Just touch that. I usually just do it with my fingernails. Look at that. That was stuck on my scanner. Usually I just do it with my fingernails. I see some people go in there with tweezers. Tweezers make me nervous because I feel like that's gonna scratch the scanner right there. So be careful with that. I, again, usually just grab it with my fingernails. If you don't have fingernails, just be very carefully trying to get it off of there. Now you can wipe your scanner with a microfiber cloth if you want to. I usually try to leave her alone unless I really see something on there. Now we're gonna take this again. We're going to slide it in there. Oop, sit down, there we go. We're gonna slide that in there. It just clicks back in, and then you can even click that down if you want. See? And it's good to go. And that does not void your warranty. That does not hurt anything or hurt your machine in any kind of way. That is actually in the instruction manual, which I know none of us ever read. And Brother's totally fine with you do that. They actually would like you to do that, to clean your scanners, so that way you don't have to bring it in for repair or anything. It's an easy thing at all. Usually the techs always tell me if it's something easy you can get into, Brother's okay with that. If you're having to unscrew something, that makes them a little nervous. so there we go. So now let's go ahead, wake my machine up, hit okay. All right, so I'm gonna take the same mat that we had before, load her in. And she's good to go. How cool is that? So I didn't change anything about my mat. It was just something stuck on my bar. And again, it's not gonna happen to you all the time. It will happen once in a blue moon, but it's nice to know how to fix it if it does happen to you. It's not your mat, it's your bar. And real quick, we can't forget to do our AllBrands Behind the Scenes membership spotlight. Jane Mayu, thank you so much for being a member, Jane. If I said your last name incorrectly, my husband told me to say it like that. And if you don't know what that is actually a membership program that you can sign up for on YouTube, that you get additional content. We do a weekly members only live chat as well as additional videos on there. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. Another thing I wish someone would have told me when I started out was where to get designs. Okay, well, how do I know what designs go in my machine? How do I know what's a good design and what's not a good design? How do I do this? Well, there's multiple ways of getting a design into your machine. You have a ScanNCut, which means you can take any design under the sun. So you can go online and type in bunnies, see some outline of bunnies, scan it in. It does not have to be a black and white design. So you could scan anything in, so all of it's a free design. But if you do want pre-formatted designs that you don't have to scan in or edit or anything, you have tons of different outlets. Now, you can of course go online, go on Pinterest and stuff like that and type in free SVG designs. Your ScanNCut can read a whole slew of different kinds. So you could take any of those and bring them into your ScanNCut. You can also go to Brother Art Spirit. I talk about Art Spirit all the time because it's so awesome. And there's tons of free designs. Now, if it has a little crown, that means it's the membership, and those you do have to pay for. There's a subscription. But there's tons that are free. So go on there, click around, find some good designs, and then go ahead and send them over to your ScanNCut and play with them. There's also Brother Canvas, which is the free software that Brother gives you with your machine. There's free designs on there. Guys, they never delete these out, so they're always there. You can go and get tons of different holidays, Valentine's, Christmas, Easter. We just had Easter. Well, you have so many options of different designs that you can do, different projects that you can do, and a lot of them have video tutorials. And if you know me, you know I love a video tutorial. It's kind of why I'm here. So love, love, love getting all those free designs. Now, speaking of designs, Courtney, what if I have my Camper Bell designs or a Juju design or something like that, where I want to put it in my machine, that I want to use the ScanNCut to cut out my appliques? The ScanNCut is a Brother machine, so it can read a PES, which is Brother's embroidery format. What if I don't have a Brother embroidery machine? What if I have a Bernina, a Husqvarna, or something different like that? Can I still use my ScanNCut to be able to cut out my appliques? Absolutely. So what I always recommend is just do the quick workaround. You know, when you buy a design, they give you all the different formats for all the different machines. PES just happens to be Brother's format. So what I would say is send the PES on over to Brother and send whatever it is for your machine on over to your machine. So I think Husqvarna's was an HUS. So that way they never actually talk to each other like how all the other Brother embroidery wireless ones. You can actually send a design wirelessly. If you haven't seen our video where we did my connection, highly recommend that because I showed you how to send them back and forth wirelessly. And not only cut out your appliques with the ScanNCut, but we use the ScanNCut in our Luminaire to create stitches. And the Luminaire's not the only one that does that. The Brother Luminaire, you could do that on the Brother Stellaire. So fun. So if you haven't watched that video, highly recommend it. But if you don't have a Brother machine, you can still use the ScanNCut to cut out your appliques and all sorts of things. Again, send the PES over here and send whatever your design is to your machine. Usually you're gonna put it on a USB half the time anyways, your designs. So you could just put the USB in here, select the PES, put whatever it is for your machine into your machine and embroider it out. And now, look at that. You're cutting out appliques with your ScanNCut. And lastly, our bonus one. Our bonus one is create. I want you to create. I want you to do a project. Courtney, which project? Well, again, there's tons of free designs on there, but I want you to go places like the Dollar Tree and go get some cheap glass and try etching. If you haven't seen our etching video, I highly recommend it. So go etch, and plus cheap glass actually etches better than more expensive glass, in my opinion. So go etch, go just spend $1.25. It used to be $1. Don't get me started on that. But go get some wine glasses and etch someone's name into it, or etch an initial into it, and have some fun doing that. Go over, get a piece of the wood, so a cheap wood board, and I want you to try wood burning on it. If you haven't seen our wood burning video, I love that video. Love doing that. So go do that. It's super inexpensive. I want you to grab their vinyl. Now, something with their vinyl, and this is a bonus, is that not all vinyl is made equal. There are tons of different brands out there. My personal favorite are Caesar and Oracle 651. Dollar Tree has vinyl. It's not great quality, but to play with and to practice with and have a good time, sure. Now, don't get frustrated that the vinyl is not super, super good. It'll cut out beautifully. It's just not gonna stick to whatever you're putting it on if it's a pressure sensitive vinyl for a long period of time. Same with the heat transfer vinyl. But it's playing with, you're practicing, you're having a good time creating. So go ahead, use it, have a good time with it. I want you to go get cups from there, just the plain plastic cups, and use some pressure sensitive vinyl and put your name on there. They even have some like metal cups on there. You put your name on them, have fun. They've got tea towels, heat transfer vinyl. They've got like, not even just a Dollar Tree, anywhere. You have something in your home, you have a koozie that y'all use for your sodas. Go ahead, put some heat transfer vinyl in there and make a custom koozie. There's so many things out there. What I honestly recommend is, of course, going on like Pinterest and creating a board of all the things you're thinking about and try them out. What's the worst that can happen? You make something awesome? Like, what's the worst that can happen? And of course, I always recommend to follow us on YouTube and subscribe, because we do a ton of ScanNCut videos, a ton of crafting, and we're a great community. Come ask your questions. We'd love to hear them. And if you haven't followed our Facebook group, it's Brothers ScanNCut with AllBrands After Hours. We're always posting what we're making on there, and I love to see what you guys are making. So, and it's, again, it's a bit of encouragement and a great group. So if you haven't followed that, I recommend it. And of course, subscribe. Now, Courtney, is there any way that I can get with you in person to learn my ScanNCut? Absolutely. I am constantly touring around. So not only are you getting this free education online, but I'm constantly touring around different places. And if you didn't know, because I don't think I officially announced it on our page yet, AllBrands Academy is now open. Woo! So AllBrands Academy, I will be in San Antonio, Texas on these dates right here, teaching classes, having a great time. But also, there's going to be a ton of other amazing teachers teaching you sewing, quilting, embroidery, all the fun things. Creating a great time. So that's a 2-day event, so definitely come out and see us. And then I will be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on these dates right here, doing the same thing, having a good time, teaching you guys in person, ScanNCut, embroidery, quilting, all the great things with some of the amazing teachers. We are bringing in some really great teachers. So if you haven't signed up for that event, sign up for it. Between me and you, San Antonio is almost sold out. So if you want to come to that event, go sign up. That way you're not mad at me like, Courtney, you didn't warn us. This is me warning you guys. And I forgot to tell y'all last week that it was open. That's my fault. But there's still spots. As we're recording this right now, there are still spots. So definitely go sign up for those events. And again, in San Antonio, Texas, and in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I will be there at both of those having a good time. Now, Courtney, is that the only place that I can see you? Absolutely not. If you come to EEM, Everything Embroidery in Biloxi, Mississippi, I will also be there. I have a class that I am teaching. I don't know if it's full yet. You need to ask them. But definitely come out there. I'll be in the booth all the other times, just having a good time. And then the week after that, I will be at OXQE in Kenner, Louisiana, and I am teaching 6 different classes that are all hands-on. So come out to see me, come sign up for those classes, come having a good time. I am so excited to actually get to see you guys in person. I hope some of these tips help some of you guys out there. If you're a beginner, if you've been doing this for a long time, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave down in the below your things that you wish someone would have told you as a beginner with ScanNCut. That way we can help a beginner out there, or if you just need a little refresher, because I love reading the comments and seeing what you guys are saying, because sometimes y'all teach me things that I didn't even think about. Alright guys, don't forget that Brothers ScanNCut is available on our website, allbrands.com, as well as any of our retail stores. Now on our website and in the retail stores, not only do we have Brothers ScanNCuts and all of their accessories, but we also have Brothers Stellaires, Notions, not just Brother machines, other machines too, and tons of fabric. So if you haven't already, make sure you check that out. Thank you guys so much when you do purchase through us, because not only are you supporting a mom and pop small family business, which we truly appreciate, you're also helping us continue this free education, which again, we truly appreciate. So thank you guys so much. All right, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you check out AllBrands Academy, as well as all the other events that I will be at, and I'll be so excited to meet you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because it's the easiest way to let us know that you guys want more videos. Y'all have a good night. Bye. Unplug her from the back. And do you see right there? Do you see right there that little academy? I will be in San Antonio, Louisiana, and I will be in San Antonio, Texas on I think it's 6. Is it 6, 7? Wait, 1, 2. I'm teaching 6 different classes that are all